Okay, let's talk about magazine maintenance. Most of you might think that we never have to do any magazine maintenance other than maybe wipe the outside down with a cloth, and then that's done. In reality, when the round goes off, that's an explosion, so it blows carbon residue, powder residue, brass, copper, lead, whatever, all around in the gun. So if the gun gets dirty, so's the magazine. So it's going to come down around the follower, and it's going to coat the insides of the magazine body along with the outsides. So at least once a year, or maybe more if you shoot the gun a lot, you want to take it apart and clean it. So how do we do this? So located on the bottom of the floor plate is a little tab. Sometimes there's a little round hole in the center, and if you push that, it will allow you to take this apart. So let's try to take this one apart. So we're going to push it down, and this butt plate will slide off the magazine. There's little rails on the sides of it. So you want to trap the floor plate inside because it's got a spring inside there, and you can see how far it's going to come up. When you take this apart, remember how it came apart. It's very important. Remember how the spring was located. Now this one is stuck inside the follower, but most of the time you can see it's at an angle. And that's how you're going to put it back in the magazine. If you put it in backwards, what's going to happen is the follower is going to nose down on feeding and cause malfunction. Very important to put it right. So we've got the follower, the spring, floor plate, butt plate, and the magazine body itself. So inside the magazine body, how we're going to clean this, there's some different ways you can do it. They make a double stack magazine brush such as this, and you can stick it in the magazine like this, and it allows you to clean all the residue out of this. This is the fastest way, and it does a pretty good job of cleaning it out. Well, let's say you don't have one of these. You can always go to the toothbrush and a patch with solvent on it and clean it out. So let's try that since we don't have a fancy magazine brush. So take it all the way around in the sides, make sure it's nice and clean. And once you get it done, you can see we have dirt inside. We can run our clean patches in it. And again, it comes out pretty clean. Not much left. So let's run one more in it and see if we're fairly clean when we come out. Not bad. So if you want to spend all day, you could probably get that clean, but we've got it pretty clean for our purposes today. How do we clean the spring? Very easy. Take our cloth and just wipe the spring down. Gets all the residue off. The follower, you may want to take a brush and clean these deposits off. On all the sides. If it doesn't come off, you can always take a patch with solvent, and that will clean most of the residue off. After you're done, go ahead and take a clean patch, wipe a lot of this off. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner than it was when we started. We probably could work a little harder and get all that off, but I think it's good enough for this video. Same way on the floor plates and the butt plates. Just take a patch, wipe them down. They're not usually too bad. So for our purposes, the magazine body's clean. So now we have to put it back together. How much oil are we going to put on this? We're actually not going to put any oil on this because everything is self-lubricating. The follower is polymer, plastic. Spring is usually a silicone type spring. of somewhat, it's self-lubricating. So we just slide it back together. So remember how we took it apart? This is how it's going to go back into the magazine body like this. We're going to turn it over and we're going to put the end plate on it. And the butt plate's going to come on here next. Make sure you trap it so it doesn't fly apart. Get my rubber gloves out of there. You hear it snap into place. Visually look and make sure it's snapped into place. Now you want to check for function. Does it work like it's supposed to? Come back up. Yes, it does. Before you carry the magazine in a gun for concealed carry, I would recommend going out and firing a few rounds to make sure it functions, that you got it put in there correctly. And once you do, now you've got a clean gun for concealed carry. Should always start off with a clean gun every time you carry the gun.